So, this message is called I Hope You Find the Love You're Looking For. And hello, Sharon. The reason why I call it I Hope You Find the Love You're Looking For is because that's basically the statement that I'm saying to everything and everyone that bothers me right now. As many know, I'm in a sensitive situation that I'm trying to navigate with mindfulness. Hey, Ann, I'm trying to navigate it with mindfulness and trying to um, be present for what's arising inside of me, which it's like almost like my job right now is watching my own mind, watching my own thoughts, learning how to better articulate this new feeling that I have never experienced before, which is grieving my younger brother. But at the same time, I'm mindful that I don't want my whole identity to be a person that's sad because my little brother died or how he died. But I also am mindful that there are these feelings that I have kind of shelved um, because I guess I thought that I didn't have to deal with them that are coming up now. And I'm witnessing it. Thank God I have a mindfulness practice. I'm gonna tell you right now, the mindfulness practice is not about the thing that you do in the day to day. It's when it shows up when you need it. Just like if a person learns martial arts or something, but it's not about fighting necessarily. And maybe they may live their whole life with never getting in a fight. But then maybe one day somebody tries to punch them in their face, and all of a sudden they're like, pop, 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 pop. And they just know because they were practicing all the way up to the point where they needed it. So it's been uh years that I've been witnessing my thoughts, watching them, questioning them, and all of these things. So now I'm able to do that when it really matters. So if you don't have a mindfulness practice, I'm using that word mindfulness because it's an accessible word. But if you don't pay attention to your thoughts, if you don't have a way to bring in regulating yourself, whatever the language is, start now because you may need it one of these days and you'll want it to be there when you need it. So I'll tell you a little thing that happened to me yesterday because I thought, and I like what you said, and it's a season, not your identity. You're right. So yesterday I was feeling pretty decent. Um, just left the spiritual center where I've been working. Then my wife needed me. I was in a meeting about prayer, which is pretty cool. We're talking about prayer and different modes of prayer and stuff like that. And I was feeling pretty decent. And then my wife said, "Oh, I need you to grab this shirt for me and bring it to work." So I was just like, "Okay." So didn't plan on doing that, but I said, "Thank you, Holy Spirit," and was feeling pretty good because I've been also trying to just be mindful of the spirit in whatever it is I'm doing. So I was feeling pretty good. Went and saw her, gave her the shirt. Everything's lovely. Gave her a little kiss, mwah, and I'm headed home thinking I'm about to play with my kids because my kids wanted to play with me, and I was feeling pretty good. And then I passed this one street, and all of a sudden my body started tightening up, and I started feeling like I was angry. And I was like, what is happening to me? And then it just kept getting more and more intense and I'm feeling it. And if I didn't have mindfulness practice, I would have just been like, whatever, angry, or I don't know what I would have been. It's just like angry for no reason. Something would have triggered me, but I was watching it, asking like, where is this coming from? Why am I feeling it? Why is my body getting so tight and all those other things like that? And I got home and my kids wanted to play and I was trying, but I wasn't 100% present because I was trying to watch these thoughts, right? And then this is all coming back to love in a second, I'll tell you, as if you're curious where the heck I'm going. So anyway, I'm feeling that. And then I'm like holding it all the way till I get my youngest kid to bed. And then I just like lay down on the floor, man. I'm just like, pfft. And I'm just like, and I told my wife, because I've been very, checking in with her and letting her know where I am with my feelings. I said, man, I got this feelings over me right now. It feels like anger, but I know I'm watching it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I lay down and I sit there thinking to myself and I start retracing my steps. And I'm like, what happened? And then I remember the street that it started kicking in. And the GPS, because of the time of day, I decided to use GPS to figure out what was the fastest route to get home. And it took me down a road that I normally wouldn't go down. But that road, as I sat there and reflected on it, past this place where this woman, Joyce, that I used to be friends with, but she passed on some years ago. It was on the street where she used to live, and thought about her, and then I just started feeling this anger feeling. But when I was laying on the floor in silence afterwards, I remembered that my dream that I had about my brother right after the funeral, that night after the funeral, she was in that dream. And so somehow passing the street that she used to live on subconsciously triggered the memory of my dream, which then triggered everything else. And then my body was all tightening up and stuff. That's craziness. And I started thinking to myself, wow, man, there's so many people on a day-to-day basis that are just triggered, activated about so many things. They don't know why they are. They don't know where it came from. They can't retrace their steps. And they're out among us getting pissed off all the time, doing all the things that are being done in the name of some insanity that they call liberty or freedom or whatever the heck they think they're working for. And then when I centered with it, it reminded me of this statement that I've been saying to myself and to other people when I feel feelings about them is I hope you find the love you're looking for, because I feel like everything that people are putting out here in the world is a desperate attempt to find some kind of love that they think is missing. And when they're angry or sad or this or that, it's because they are trying to connect to that love and they can't find their way back to it. And so they think if they do certain things, they'll make their way back to that love. Maybe it's when they first were born. Maybe it was when they were a baby. Maybe it's beyond this life. I don't know. But there's some sense of something was taken from me and I'm going to get my way back to it through the behaviors that I'm performing. And sometimes those behaviors align with the person that they want to be, and sometimes those behaviors don't align with the person they want to be. Sometimes they're doing something because they want love and they're actually pushing love away and they don't realize it, but they're so activated that their desperate attempt to find love makes them act outside of themselves. So as we know, or as you know, or maybe you don't know, I'll tell you now. My brother was murdered by a person who, in their mind, thinks that they loved my brother, right? But that's not love. That's something else. And there's a lot of behaviors that people do in their mind, like I said before, is a desperate attempt at love. Like one of the reasons that I can't get myself to hate this person is because I think of them as a pathetic person, not as a put down, but just in the state of they're pathetic. A pathetic person who desperately wanted love and could not handle like rejection. And then I also think that my brother had a mutual attraction to a person like that for his own desperate attempts to feel love in some kind of way. So it's like we just do that. A lot of times we pick partners that remind us of somebody that we used to. Thank you, Sharon. Um, she says, I'm sorry, Pedro. But a lot of people will try to find love in all kinds of ways. Sometimes it's like trying to get a certain job, and if they get the right amount of money and enough prestige, then they'll be loved. Or maybe they think if I become president of the United States and take Greenland, I'll be loved. Whatever it is, it's a lot of people desperately trying to find love, and they are doing a lot of harm in that insane effort to find love that is a love coming from outside of them that doesn't even know who they are. It's not love coming to them because someone loves them as they are. They think if I do this, I'll get love. I come from a place, thank God, thank love, thank whatever, where I know I'm loved. Like I don't think that my love is in question. I know that I'm loved. And so because I know that I'm loved, even when I feel feelings that are disruptive and they don't line up with the sense of like me being loved, I can question them. So I'll just be like, in a loving universe, why do I feel this feeling that I'm feeling right now? And then because now I have to make an illusion as if I'm not loved in order to feel some of these feelings. I don't know if that 100% makes sense, and it's hard to, get feedback to confirm whether that makes sense to you or not. But let's just say, for example, there's different states that we feel. Like, say, I want to buy something and it's expensive, but I have no money, and another person wants to buy that same thing and they have money, but they also can say that it's expensive. But they might be like, oh, it's expensive. They might feel some kind of feeling about it, but then they know they have the resources to get the thing. And so they don't have the same levels of anxiety as someone who wants the thing and doesn't have the resources, right? They might have some of the same initial thoughts though. And that's kind of what comes up for me is I may sometimes feel a thing, but because I know that I'm resourced by love, I know that things are going to be all right. Right. So I'm able to say, in this same vein, like, okay, this feeling is coming up. Maybe it feels like lack, or maybe it feels like something's missing. But I know that in a loving universe, nothing's missing. So now I can question that. Like, in a loving universe, why would I think something's missing? In a loving universe where I'm cared for and things like that, why would I need to feel this hate towards somebody or this anger towards somebody? And then I'm able to ask that. I get curious about it. It gets dismantled, and then I can return to this consciousness of love, right? And I've said a lot, but now I have started to tell myself, because I need to, because if I didn't tell myself this, I would be like really not right because of what happened with my brother. But because that same love is true, even in the face of that, even in the face of that, my brother was stolen from, my mindset, it's like I could feel that way, right? But it's still the truth is the truth is the truth. In a loving universe, why do I feel like my brother is missing? You're not right. That was hard to ask when you know there's somebody. I saw him in the casket. I saw them put him in the grave, but he's still not missing. He's still, in the grand scheme of things, here. That's something I had to unpack later. So I had to keep reminding myself of love, love, and to also know that love is always present. It's not something I have to look for. And that other people, no offense to them, if they're acting some kind of way, it's because they think they got to look for this love. And that getting whatever they think they got to get is going to make them get that love. I know I said words love a lot, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully this is making sense to folks. So all that in the container, I'm now very much trying to project love into the world more, consciously, and then blessing people, saying, I hope you find the love you're looking for, and making the assumption that everything that they're doing, like when I see these ice raids and stuff like that, I'm angry by it, right? When I saw Renee Good get killed, it triggered me about my brother. It triggered me about all these murders and all these things that don't have to happen. And I felt rage feelings about it. And I want you to know that me saying this doesn't mean that you don't take action in the world. It's just that your actions are informed by a different kind of consciousness. It's that you're like, even when you stop somebody, like if somebody tries to fight you, right? And you're not a violent person, but you know how to fight, and somebody tries to fight you fight them to stop them from hurting you and from hurting themselves. So there's a love there. Maybe we don't use that word a lot when you think about fighting, but you're trying to stop them from doing harm. And that's because that's informed by love. So you can take actions in love to stop somebody who's doing something out of their desperate attempt to find love, and you could subdue them until they get back into their right mind. And then when they get back in their right mind, if you have the power to do so, you can teach them, educate them, rehabilitate them, remind them, help them realize that they're loved. But that doesn't mean you just sit there and go, oh, I hope you find the love you're looking for while they're doing crazy things. You got to call out the crazy things too, and try to stop them in love. If trying to stop them in love doesn't work, then I would say it's better to center yourself in love before you take the action, because otherwise you're just going to be putting out the same like vitriolic energy that they're putting out, and it's just going to kind of exacerbate, which I think happens a lot. And I'm not judging people that are in that space. I'm just saying this is where I'm coming from. And so I am continually saying to folks within my heart, I hope you find the love you're looking for. And that's not I'm mindful that this could be heard in a way that I don't intend. So I'm trying to bring some clarity to this. And I appreciate those of you who are sitting here and listening to me work this out. Um, when I do these lives, is more like I need to do them in the moment, because I had a couple choices right now. I could have found a punching bag to punch, do about 7-5 push-ups or something like that. I need to do, excuse me, do something with the energy that was moving through me. Excuse me. So I chose to do this, with the hope that it might edify other people. But I'm mindful that I'm not trying to say, like, imagine a person is trying to find a good romantic relationship, and then another person's in a good romantic relationship, and then they're just saying to you, like, hey, my relationship is great, and it makes you feel bad that your relationship isn't great. I'm not going for that energy. The energy I'm trying to go for is saying that everything you're looking for, all the love you're looking for is right here, right now, present with you. There's nowhere to look for it. I don't have access to something that you don't have access to. I can just call your attention to the thing you have access to. And if I go back to the like money analogy, like say that you don't know you have an inheritance and I'm walking around with living like what's the word, flourishing or something. And then I point out to you, hey, you have an inheritance too. That's what it is. It's like I'm trying to say, like, hey, this is what you have. You running around looking for this, but it's already with you. That's the energy that I'm trying to come with. So hopefully this is good news that you and everybody else has access to all the love in the universe. It's just we don't know that we do. And hi Pat, thanks for joining. So that's the essence of what I'm trying to go for. I have experienced many times where because of the mentality that we have with this kind of enculturated into us where we're always concerned about lack and what's missing and all these other things. I've had people get mad at me because like that was one of the things that precipitated my leaving my fundamentalist church is I was going through this breakup and it wasn't beautiful. My ex believed a lie, acted on that lie, and found herself in a relationship with another person. I don't want to tell her business. She made choices. I was still gonna stay with her despite those choices at first. And um I was in a Bible study and we were praying and somebody said, well, let's lift up everything that we can't handle and lift it up to God, using that kind of language. And then everybody was saying it. And I said, well, I'm just so grateful. And I meant it sincerely. I was like, I'm just so grateful that I don't have to worry about what I can handle or can't handle because the love of God is always with me. So even in this situation, I know that I'm okay. I know I'm going to be all right, even in this situation. And you think somebody would be, amen, hallelujah, praise God, or something like that. Instead, the person said, I don't know what you're talking about. You're going through a divorce and blah, blah, blah. And your wife left you and started saying all my business in church. And I was like, wow. And they said, you need to be praying for this and this. And they were like berating me in front of everybody about how bad I should be feeling instead of just relishing in the love that was going to be with me even when I go through hard times. That is not very church like. When that person they just like kind of put me down. I said, what in the world is this madness? But now all I can say to that person is I hope he found the love he's looking for. That being said, thank you again for having the patience to listen to this while I'm processing. Um, Basically, if I were to be able to just hand what I'm trying to communicate to everyone and they could just take it in like an elixir, it is that all the love you're looking for is already with you. You wouldn't even know to look for it if you couldn't feel it and connect to it inside of yourself. You only can imagine something missing by imagining the thing being there first. So it's already present with you in your consciousness. It's just the mechanisms for having permission to receive have probably been challenged by the world that you live in. Like unintentionally, maybe your parents taught you, well, I'll love you. You received it as I'll love you if you clean your room. I'll love you if you make good grades. I'll love you if you do this. And then we get that messaging, which I don't necessarily think our parents might have meant to project onto us, but a lot of us receive those things in some kind of way, like that love is conditional. And then we just go into the world thinking, I got to do certain things to get loved. And then once you do that, the degree to which you damage, the degree to which that you think that you have to do all kinds of feats in order to be loved is the degree to which you try to manipulate the world to get that love. And that's what a lot of the people that we watch right now, like, even though I think that they need to be stopped, all these people doing the ice and all this other stuff like that. At the same time, these are very sad, pathetic human beings who don't feel loved. They can't possibly love themselves because we do unto others as we feel about ourselves. So everything that you see them doing to other people, that's what they feel about themselves. That's what they feel like they deserve. And that's why they're doing the things that they're doing. They are projecting their self hate out onto the world and using other people as a screen for the projection of their own self-hate. So when I say, I hope you find the love you're looking for, I hope that if they find the love they're looking for, if we all find the love we're looking for, we won't need to project our self-hate out onto the world, or our self-pity, or our diminishment, or all these other things. But rather, when we accept that we're loved, we'll be able to project love onto the world and change the environment. So it's from the love that I know that I have and I'm receiving, that I am able to receive endlessly without condition, that I can then look at other people and say, I hope you find the love you're looking for. Even when those people piss my temporary corporeal being off, I can also still hope that they find the love they're looking for, because I found the love that is always with me. And so I want that for the whole universe, for all beings, you know? So anyway, I said a lot. It was definitely not organized, because I basically was translating some feelings that were going through my body, because I'm very mindful of what was happening in my body. And I felt another kind of like triggering this morning. Um, but I witnessed it. And then I was just like, told my wife, like, I either got to go to the gym and translate this into working out, or I got to translate this into a video, or translate this into writing, or something like that. And this was faster. So, any rate, I love y'all with all the love that there is. And I hope that you all know how much you're loved. And if you don't know how much you're loved, I hope that you can say to yourself, I hope that I find all the love I'm looking for. Then I have all the love I'm looking for. I am the love I'm looking for. Just bring that into yourself. And then, hey, yep, I get it. I process things verbally too. Thanks. So just say, I hope I find it. I have it. I am it. And that's it. And center yourself. And then when you take actions out in the world, they will be seasoned with the love that you have chosen to embody. And that will bring good things into the world. Just like when people have problems and they put that out there, they bring that into the world. So go be a blessing. Thank you for being here. It's a blessing to me, because sometimes I'm just talking and there's like 0 viewers. So I'm just kind of talking to myself and don't never know who is going to see it. So I appreciate those of you who are here now. And maybe at some point I'll get to a place where I'm scheduling things and then doing them in advance. But everything for me right now is present moment. Um, so that's kind of how I'm navigating these energies, and just being mindful of what's happening right now. So, but I very much appreciate you. Thank you. If you got something out of this, I do invite you to share with other people. Honestly, I don't care too much about like clicks and likes and all this other stuff. Otherwise, I'd be more organized with this. It's just that we got to spread the love, man. Like, as much as it's a shit show out here sometimes, there is love everywhere, present and radiating. And all we have to do is receive it. All we have to do, actually, I'm going to say another thing and then I'll let y'all go. I was talking to my friend yesterday about the spiritual community that I'm serving right now, and their approach to some of the teachings of Christ and stuff like that. And I was telling my friend that the analogy I would use is that it's a way of cleaning your mirror so you can reflect the light of God, or universe, or Christ, or however you need to articulate it to access it. That it's like to clean your own mirror so you can project that light out, instead of what a lot of us sometimes do is we project the junk that's on us out into the world, and then we condemn that junk that we're projecting out. But it's more about cleaning that stuff off and then projecting love and light and beauty and things like that. And that's something we have the capacity to do. So an invitation here is to take, whatever you're learning, to clean your mirror, or to make it so that you can be a beautiful projection. You're already beautiful, but a projection of the love that is, when you're putting that out there. Like, invite other people into that possibility, because there's a lot of people, well-meaning, honestly, who teach some things that are only unintentionally, they're just putting out this like negative, 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 negative. And they think that if they're trying to like kind of learn from subtraction. So that if they can just put all the negative stuff out there, then the only thing that'll eventually be left will be whatever is positive if they just put negative out there. But there's a lot of negative. You could just go straight to the positive. So just putting that out there, hopefully it makes some sense. I'm more of a writer than I am like a speaker. So if I write first, I'm clearer when I speak. But I'm choosing to just speak right now, and then I'm probably going to have to write some stuff as well. But I appreciate you being here, and hope you have a great day. Hope you find the love you're looking for. You have the love you're looking for. You are the love you're looking for. Peace.